Ariana Grande just rewrote a lyric live on stage, and the guy she rewrote it for was standing right there in the crowd, grinning. Here's the deal. In June 2026, at a concert in Austin, Texas, Ariana is mid-performance. She gets to Thank You Next, that song we all know basically by heart, and instead of singing the original line about Ricky, she swaps it out, on the spot, in front of everyone. Wrote some songs about Ricky, now he still got my back. Fans in the crowd spotted Ricky Alvarez watching from the audience, and yes, he was smiling. Then weeks later at a show in Brooklyn, she does it again. This time the line is, "We always find our way back." 2 different shows, 2 new lyrics, both pointing at the same guy. That is a public declaration, dressed up as a setlist change, and I think everyone in that room knew it. So who is Ricky Alvarez, and why does this reunion feel like more than a tabloid footnote? Us Weekly confirmed in July 2027. 6. That Grande and Alvarez have rekindled their romance nearly 10 years after they originally split. A source close to the situation told us exclusively that the two have always shared a close bond, but that bond went quiet during her relationship with Wicked co-star Ethan Slater. Now that Grande and Slater have broken up, the source says she is happy to reconnect with Alvarez, describing him as a huge source of support and someone she is genuinely grateful to have back in her life. That framing matters. This isn't being described as a rebound or a fling. The people close to her are painting it as a return to someone she trusts. Let's talk about who Ricky Alvarez actually is, because if you only know him as a name in a pop song, you're missing the full picture. Alvarez is a Mexican-American artist from San Diego, originally based in Brooklyn. He built a career first as a professional dancer, including serving as one of Grande's backup dancers on her honeymoon tour, which ran from 2014 to 2015, so this is someone who was literally on stage with her before they ever dated. He has since transitioned away from dance entirely and now works full-time as a photographer and director. According to his own bio, his work focuses on contrasts, disruptions of form, fashion, and identity, with his own cultural background woven through it all. His career has apparently come full circle, with the artists he once danced for now hiring him as a visual collaborator. That's a real arc. He's not just a name from her past. He's built something independent. Now back to Thank You Next for a second, because the history there is genuinely funny and worth knowing. When Grande released that song in 2019, Alvarez was among the exes name dropped. The original line went, "Wrote some songs about Ricky, now I listen and laugh." Not exactly flattering on the surface, and apparently Alvarez noticed. Grande recalled on the Zach Sang show in 2019 that Ricky came to her and said, and I'm paraphrasing, "Why did I get the worst line?" He pointed out that the other exes got lines that sounded warm or grateful, and his line basically implied she looks back and cringes. Grande's response was essentially, "It could have been worse." She said she could have written, "Never mind, he's trash," but chose something softer because, as she put it, it didn't work out, and she didn't want to go there. Ricky, for his part, was reportedly proud of the mention and approved of it. So even years after the split, there was clearly enough goodwill between them to laugh about it together. Here's where I land on this, and I think it's worth saying plainly. The lyric change is the most interesting detail in this whole story. Grande could have quietly started seeing Alvarez again and let the tabloids piece it together over time. Instead, she rewrites the song twice in different cities. With him in the room, that's not accidental. That's someone using the tool they're best at, which is music, to say something they want, said publicly. The original lyric was about moving on and looking back with a kind of detached amusement. The new version says, "We always find our way back." That's a completely different emotional claim. She didn't just change a word. She changed the meaning of the whole story she'd told about that relationship. And the timing of all this is worth sitting with. The reunion comes on the heels of her breakup from Ethan Slater, her Wicked co-star, and the source quoted by Us specifically notes that Ariana and Ricky weren't close during that relationship, but are now reconnecting on the other side of it. That's the part that reads as genuinely human rather than calculated. Old friendships that go quiet during new relationships, then resurface when things change. Most people know that feeling. Whether this becomes a lasting thing or another chapter she'll eventually write a song about, nobody can say. But right now, she's the one rewriting the song herself in real time, with him watching. So here's the open question I'll leave you with. Do you think the live lyric change was a spontaneous, in-the-moment gesture, or something they talked about in advance? Because those are 2 very different reads on what this reunion actually is. Drop your take in the comments, and if you want more on whatever Ariana does next, because something is always happening, subscribe. We'll be here.